Ski Mask the Slump God quickly rose as a one-of-a-kind talent, setting himself as one of the most weird and unique rappers in the music industry. But after multiple setbacks from personal trauma, lack of music from false promises, and a disappointing mixtape, Ski Mask seemed to hit rock bottom in his career. But when all hope seemed lost, Ski ventured into the 11th dimension.
誰もが11次元として知られる最後の島を見つけることを明るめているかに見えました二人の男がまだこの夢を持ち続けていたことは世界にはほとんど知られていませんでした XXX テンタションという少年とスキーマスクザ・スランプグローという男が刑務所内で出会った夢や目標を交換して後彼らはチームを組んでベリーレールとして知られる海賊団を立ち上げることにしました誰は何度も過去の自分や過去のスタイルと対峙することになった全ての過去の自分を打ち破り地獄はの意味を獲得し応援のポーズを見つけたスキーマスクはついに最後の島ジジジェンに到達した
The 11th Dimension, an album that I had very low expectations for, but this is now one of Ski Mask the Slump God's best projects. And yes, I put it up there with Stokely. But before I dive into this album, we must go back on the timeline where Ski first started. From the start, Stokely's life seemed very promising, living with his mom and grandma and also having a supportive father who was a rapper under the name Sin City, who supported his son to become a rapper just like him.
My dad was also a rapper, forcing me to write rhymes when I was a kid, I swear. Not even like trying to make me like focus on homework, but like making me focus like how to write rhymes. He was a rapper back then, you know?
But what his dad didn't know was that Stokely didn't take his music very seriously and resorted to getting in trouble instead, getting into fights in school, spray painting houses, and selling fake lean. Eventually, Stokely was caught selling $10 worth of weed to an undercover cop at a new school after he was expelled from the one prior. Stokely was sent to a juvenile detention center, which became the most pivotal moment to the start of his career. There, he shared a cell with a younger boy in juvie for much serious crimes. Them two freestyled together to pass the time and created a close bond while locked up. Once released, they transferred to the same school and continued hitting licks, even making plans to rob a few houses together. But they also considered taking rapping more seriously to help distract them. So, they form a rap group called Very Rare, with Stokely selecting the stage name Ski Mask the Slump God. And his new friend becoming XXX Tentacion. Ski and X recorded their music using a cheap Blue Snowball microphone, turning its poor quality to their advantage with the rise of the loud 808 and distorted vocals. Ski from the start was extremely talented, being a much better rapper than his friend X, but they both learned off one another. Ski became more energetic and outgoing, while X learned to have more control and incorporate more flows, and their chemistry was shown in the projects of the newly named Members Only.
Menace and Venice, turn your bitch up into a lost cause. Beauty and the Beast with a clip, be cautious, caution. Murder the pussy, city floor.
Ash slinging, slashing, post in the mist. Monster in the building, Lino and Stitch. Watch me beat the kitty, Ryu. Beat the pussy ball, no tie. Smoking a fruity color, the cantaloupe. Hey, that bitch not an animal, but got chemical. Hey, I slurp it, I spoon it, just had some venomals. Hey.
Ski Mask became a key figure in the group, and from the new buzz he was receiving, he finally released his first mixtape, Drownin' Designer.
At the gates of hell, I still got on pre. Oops, what a smell. Sauce. Zero Mortal Kombat, my wrist. Ow. Call a nigga little quick scope. Like this Nuketown, get a nigga hit quick. She said, drop that meat immediate like a shopping cart.
Pop a bear in that pussy and I need support. Rich Ricky Bobby on my body and I got endorsed for this.
Humpty Dumpty horror story. Feel like Dexter got double D's in my laboratory.
The mixtape showcased a variety of unique flows and clever bars, filled with animated pop culture references, establishing a signature style that would go down to define his entire career.
Know that I'm ready, I'm a fucking some lettuce. Don't forget the lesson what I bought. When I'm in the booth, it sound like Jason versus Freddy.
Can I help you? I like chocolate milk. Yes, I caught that before.
Can I have some chocolate milk? I like chocolate milk. Chocolate milk! Chocolate milk! Chocolate milk!
3 bars on me, I ain't talking about the Wi-Fi. Ben 10 wrist, I ain't talking about the sci-fi. Look at mine, love the same color as my caca. Feeling like Messi, trying to kick it like
Black or
Saka.
white, it's alright. Black or white, that's not right. White people say ho. Black people say hey.
Like underwater squad in the drop top minivan, popping like grease in a kicker pan. Underwater squad in the drop top minivan. Diamonds through a hurdle, flat like Portal, wet like Squirtle. Coke bottle, bitch, no girdle. Why you busy fucking with them rats, Ninja Turtles? My bitch heat like lava girl, and we drip the boats in the sand like she Mr. Turtle.
Ski went to release 2 more EPs in a month time span, Very Rare Lost Files and Slaps for My Drop Top Minivan.
My shiny teeth and me, bitch. Get boot, come full shoes on me. Rap like Rip with the Simmons, no dicky. Blue eyes, white dragon, how my we be like a ball wall, 6 white gold, my teeth. Feel like Frozone, wear my super suit, my wrist cold. Talk my money, better get right. Put your ass open like a fucking car dice. Better hit it with a hook, shit night. Then I come up on this bitch like a mountain bike. Hey. Why my roof look like a T-Rex unbeaten? My minivan got the Julie buffling and pull a drop top minivan, what the fuck? Kenny paint wet, hubble bubble gum.
But as Ski Mask was rising, his best friend X got locked up again, which ended up becoming the best thing to happen to their careers.
Yo, my fucking name comes up, my nigga. Jose D. Onfroy, better known by his stage name XXXTentacion, is an American hip-hop recording artist from Plantation, Florida. Well, that's a lot of fucking followers. Holy shit. What the fuck?
While X was locked up, his mugshot went mega viral online. And his track Look at Me hit the Billboard Hot 100, bringing millions of people to X and every person affiliated with him, and especially Ski Mask.
Just like a Pizza Hut, I saw your order in my dimension, not dimension. Mother, her nose is humongous. Mr. Krabs' daughter, she got a big head like on the fucking quarter. Top rope, swinging in the pussy, Rey Mysterio.
Ski Mask in the building!
Hey. Give me a chance, my nigga. I'm spitting. Like, I'm bringing shit back. I'm not lyrical, but I'm lyrical. I like to have fun. Like, I'm not no Kendrick Lamar. Music is all aspects. You gotta bring all aspects. And my aspect is like having fun and then still saying some shit.
And like many, this is when I discovered Ski Mask. It was the summer before 8th grade, and I was spending the night at a friend's house with some other homies. We took turns playing some split screen Black Ops 2, obviously screen peeking, all while listening to some music. Eventually, I got aux, and I started with some popular X songs since I was starting to like his music. So my friend asked me,
Yo, do y'all know about Ski Mask the Slump God?
Bro, what kind of name is that?
I feel like a Gucci Alibur. You tell me you don't know Ski?
It's X's best friend. He's tough, dude.
Oh, for real? Put us on then.
I bet. This one's called Catch Me Outside.
I feel like a Gucci Alibur. Go to the Coca-Cola mascot, polo bird. Put my sauce on lasagna, it can make.
And like that, I was hooked on Ski and X. We played Catch Me Outside on repeat probably that entire night.
Watch me spin around 360 quick scope or something. Bills on me blue, like a blues, better yet, blues.
The next day, I was invested. I ended up listening to Ski's entire You Will Regret mixtape.
Orlando Brown is my spirit animal. You know I gave it a hello, Moto. Hey, what a show. Rest in peace, Harambe. Turn me up in the headphones a little bit, fam. What is your bitch? My bitch, she hot. Why bitch, she hot? Why bitch, she hot? Whoa, I'm King Kong. White girl long. Like me, Jagger. Swag my swag. Would've thought a nigga run around, see how I beat the pussy competition looking loud. Which one would you be, though? Mr. Fantastic, cause of money like elastic. Burberry, trench coat, you smoke a oregano. I'm smoking on Nick Cat.
And after that, I went through the full Members Only Volume 3 album.
Throw my balls at the Pokemon and catch some shit, cause I fly like a newborn baby, one mat wing.
She gon' run my Dragon Balls that I make one wish. What is that? She don't want it to the young nigga dick. Ay.
I'm on the draw. Big rules a bit. Constantine. What? Devil on my soul.
Revenge on my body. He want me my shawty. Now talking about my bitch, I'm talking.
And for the rest of 2017, I refused to listen to any other artist besides Ski and X. It was all I ever listened to. That year, I even had Where's a Blow as the outro for all my YouTube videos.
And just remember, kids, hugs not drugs.
Yes, that is little me wearing a fake Revenge hoodie with a Ski and X poster in the background. I was a pretty big fan, clearly. But as I was becoming a fan, it was also the time that Ski started to take a step back from X. His behavior took a toll on him, and he wanted to work on his own brand rather than being the sidekick to his best friend. So despite facing initial label issues, Ski Mask leaked his next project in early 2018, which was later reworked and released as Beware of the Book of Eli.
Life, I fucked a couple witches. Think I'm a wizard. How she got them itty bitty titty gel at the committee? That bitch kitty be kidding me. Trying to belittle me. Know that she feeling me. Giggity, giggity. Like Peter Pan. Clean like Mr. Clean. But I'm in his head like serial killer. I murdered again. But only the track is my favorite sin. So just let you know 619 like Mysterio. She said my nuts taste like honey, no Cheerio. How did she greet you though? She be like Cheerio. What is? I said, hi. Good afternoon. My name is Key and I'm higher than Canada. Jump over the moon.
Ski was starting to gain respect in many different fan bases of hip-hop subgenres, and his best friend was also becoming a global superstar. So fans were happy when they finally made up and became friends again.
Yo, with the do-rag on. Yo, bro. I love you, bro.
I love you too, fam.
I love you, bro.
It was a very good point in Ski's career. Ski was finally getting the respect he deserved.
You and your bitch kinda resemble Billy and Mandy. My bitch like Sandy. Cause of the cheeks, I heard Freddie. Don't fuck with the fizz. Yellow bitches on me like lemon head. Running my set like Ed and Eddie. Red and black sweater like my name is Freddie. Color spaghetti. I so messy.
And was having the independent career that he always wanted.
I can fuck your mother, I'm chopping, I'm fucking cut that shit wet like the fuck we got us. Just like a nature lover, I'm wishing a nigga water before I've been started sucking and stopping reminding.
So it was time that Ski Mask the Slump God started the rollout for his debut studio album, Stokely. But a few months before the release, tragedy struck, and Stokely lost his best friend.
Several gunshots, possibly drive-by. No description on the subject. Someone in a black BMW 3X at Riva Motorsports.
Bro, I don't even know what to say right now. I just don't know what to say. I guess I'm just making this because the information, what I just heard, was that he's passed.
Losing your day one would be enough to break anyone, and for a while, it did for him. But Ski remained strong, like X would have wanted, and released his album anyways.
Just like a lobster, these niggas imposters. I can let the cop first. My diamonds wetter than damn Davy Jones. Sirski slump. Yup, bad mother.
She's a salamander, cold-blooded tiger.
This ain't that, bitch. That,
This marked a pivotal moment in his career.
Bitch, I'm hotter than a pepper, no mint. Big stepper, no stilts, big tilt.
The album showcased some of Ski's best work to date, with many strong and iconic highlights from it.
Think up Thanos rock, thumb in my fist, Entertainment with your bitch at night like Nick. Drake and Josh, how we team your bitch, Michael Jackson, one glove, I hit,
And from a fan perspective, I loved every second of it.
Bitch on a bite like a vampire fang. Numbers wanna bend and let a nigga ang.
And around this time, Ski formed a close friendship with a new artist, Juice WRLD.
Say hell yeah!
What the fuck, bro? You ain't tryna fuck. Get the fuck out my spot, ho. Why your ass get kicked out like a dot?
And from their new friendship, Ski and Juice plan to make a collab album together.
To be completely honest, we're most likely both the evil twin at some points, though. We're both really nice, but then we're both evil
at the same time.
And even went on tour together for Juice's album in 2019, all while honoring Ski's late brother X. But by the time of the end of the year, Ski lost his new friend.
TMZ is reporting rapper Juice WRLD is dead after suffering a seizure at Chicago's Midway Airport. The rapper, whose real name is Jared Anthony Higgins, had just gotten off a flight from California this morning when he collapsed. TMZ says he was rushed to a hospital where he was later pronounced dead. He was just 21 years old.
I know you somewhere, I'm trapped in your mind.
can't even imagine the grief Ski had to face during quarantine. And yeah, that year, Ski only released a few features in one single. But fans were understanding, of course. Most were okay letting Ski take as much time as he needed for new music. And during quarantine, that's when I started making artwork for the first time. And I often drew Ski Mask, because he was still one of my favorite artists. So when I heard Ski was dropping a new mixtape along with 2 other projects in 2021, I was so excited. I continued making Ski related artwork, and especially around the up and coming mixtape. Sin City finally dropped.
Quicksand, lost in the sauce, I see you are. Two-faced like a penny, can't tell who you are. The whole about you, know about you, no not one.
Summer turn winter, Christian turn to center, changes knocking at the door. Deja vu.
I'm like a damn C4, keep the bean, Dragon Ball Z, pick it low. Nigga think I'm scared to get jumped, Geronimo. Wish a nigga would like Pinocchio knows. We gon' beat him, leave him purple, look like one of Barney Toes.
There were a few good songs, but the majority was very disappointing, even if I didn't know it at the time. And with no sign of the other promised projects, I started focusing on other artists if I wasn't already, gradually moving away from my Ski and Juice phase. All we could really count on was false promises at the start of every year and barely any new music. And as time passed, it seemed Ski was starting to be forgotten about, but he didn't necessarily fall off. I mean, he wasn't dropping any music. Like, people still had respect for him, but people were just moving on. So almost 6 years after Ski Mask the Slump God's debut album, we finally got his sophomore project, 11th Dimension.
May I fight for my honor, your honor? Listen, lady discriminating against me because then my complexion is darker.
Listen, we teach him how to pole like a nigga named Coach Carter. Hard to hit it like a glass of hot water. That's why these niggas always copy, please. Manifest, I do the best, I rinse it, then repeat. Like a cup of liquor with no chase, I do it neat. Niggas call boss with computers, I delete. I'm a monster, Lilo Stitch. Like Kim Impossible, what's the sitch? Like the Matrix, bitch, I glitch. Yo, alright, Simba, cause I'm the chosen one. With this ice on me, I'm the frozen one. Red rum, talking about murder, then go get my toys done.
Before the album, I loved the song Shibuya.
Yo, that's my right hand man. We out in Shibuya, outside in Japan.
But I didn't think it was going to be the lead single, knowing Ski. The album was announced just a week before its release with minimal promotion. So even from seeing the track list, I was still skeptical. When the album dropped, I found the first 3 songs decent, but then it got really good after that. For some reason, I kept envisioning Ski rapping as a pirate throughout the album, so when I saw the visualizers and trailers, it all made sense. For the first time, Ski created an entire world around this album, complete with a trio of cinematic trailers and alter egos for the record. The new sound really stuck with me. And despite some online critics from non-Ski Mask fans, I believe this record represents the perfect amount of evolution while still staying true to his signature style. Ski is one of the weirdest and most unique artists in the music industry, and it's about time we start giving him his flowers for what he's done with his career, rather than tying his name with his peers whenever we talk about him. Ski is currently going on tour for the album, and I believe people will start to realize that Ski Mask isn't just only back, but is now looking to be at the start of a new career.
Open it up.